We're getting more fans coming back here. Ryder was here earlier. He was on TikTok last time, and he
Right.
wants to come on again. And I suspect some of the young girl hockey players will be around. And I've been investigating something. We're live on Facebook. Hello, Facebook fans. Hello,
Hello.
TikTok. I've been investigating
Oh,
6-7.
what? Let me know what you've come up with.
Well, here's what in the beginning, Connor. Like I was nervous because I thought these kids are
Yeah,
setting the old guy up. There's something bad going on with it.
nothing inappropriate. Just
No,
very senseless.
nobody can give me a straight
No,
answer.
there is no straight answer. I
I
think
was at Starbucks last night talking to a friend of mine and hanging out with her, and she's got young kids, and there were these young girls beside me here. Hi, how's it going? Oh, this is one of our winners here, right?
that's awesome.
You you all ready? You're Sarah, right? Well, congratulations on winning the tickets. All right, you have some fun. Okay, you're welcome. Go Sting, go! All right, Sarah DeCosta, one of the winners of the tickets for tonight.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Always good to see you.
So these young girls that were high school girls, they were doing their homework at Starbucks, and I said, "Hey, excuse me," and I asked them, I go, like, what? And they're like, "It's just fun. It's got no meaning."
No meaning. I think that's
So
the beauty of it. Starbucks, a
I
Seattle-based establishment
this was
during the Blue Jays game.
I,
Okay,
I,
okay.
I
see
don't
how-
want to go to Starbucks and
I
pay
see how it
$5,000 for a coffee, but that's where we went. So Starbucks is definitely a modern vibe.
Modern vibe. Okay.
Like, well, with the app and just the way the room's set
Yeah.
up and everything, and everybody's doing home. I was the oldest guy in the room, put it that way.
Everyone, did you bring your laptop?
No,
Get
I
some
had my phone, but
Everyone else did.
6-7 all the way, I guess. All right. Okay. Hi, how are you? Good to see you. What's that? Yes, that's right. That's right. Hi. Okay. Here we go. This is going to be a tough conversation for my friend Connor Burke. The Russian is gone. We did talk sort of about it last week when we were here. You had heard some rumblings, but now it's confirmed. He's gone, and a lot of people seem to be upset about it.
I don't think he was just my favorite. He might have been a fan favorite. Like I've seen other. I was in a bidding war for one of his jerseys. And
Right.
I see a couple around
Right.
the rink. So, people liked him. He was a great guy. He was awesome to talk to. I think he was putting in the effort to be a full Canadian. Like the language was improving, and yeah, it sets. I've had better days as a Sarnia Sting fan for sure. I was quite upset to hear the news. Yeah,
So
that's a bummer.
let me share some perspective. I had an older gentleman here earlier, coming up to me and drilling me like, where did he? Like I knew something, and I said, I don't know, and he's like, yeah, you do. You just can't. I'm like, no, I really don't know. I have some thoughts, and I did. Here's the thing, and I did say to him, I get that people are upset about it, but at the end of the day, even if you knew the reason why, what does it change? It doesn't change anything.
No, it's in the past. I'm bummed
Right.
about it for sure. I think there was probably steps that could have been done to prevent it. I think there was like a couple questionable lineup changes. I don't know.
So
It was-
okay, before I tell you what else I know,
Yeah,
what do you mean? Like what else could have been? What steps could have been taken to change that? What are you referring to?
just a little more trust in your players. Like even last year, I mean, you could say whatever you want about this year. Maybe he didn't come in the best shape, or maybe
Right.
so and so. But when he came over, he was touted to be a second round NHL pick right off the bat.
Yep.
And he gets buried the whole year. I think he probably played 2, 3, 4 games at max on the second and first line. It's a player that you want playing with your best players. He's an offensive dynamo, and you bury guys like that on the third line and give them a couple minutes a game. It's bound to frustrate people for sure. And I don't think he ever got a chance to get out of that or prove that he didn't. And,
Okay.
Yeah, that's just my opinion.
So could there be other factors involved that came to the conclusion of you're not going to be here, that we're not going to know about?
Oh, certainly, yeah.
Yeah. Do you have any thoughts or predictions on what that might be?
I've heard some stories. I don't know
Okay.
really what's true. I mean, I can gather a decent understanding of what happened, but you know, just get to watch now. Like if he went to the Regina Pats, so if he goes over there and gets a bit of playing time and starts lighting it up, then I don't know. Maybe it's a told you so moment, but
You see Dylan Seco over there right now, and um, Dylan came up and talked to, said hello, and I said, okay. I said, I'm going to ask you. And I said, you don't have to tell me. And he goes, oh, yeah. And he knew. I said, what happened? And he said, yeah, he didn't give me a direct answer. Obviously, I think for obvious reasons why he can't necessarily. But he did make a couple of points that I thought were really nice to think about. One is this is the OHL. It's not the professional level. While they're working to get there, they're not there yet. And there are other factors. They're young boys, and there's family factor, there's relationship factor, there's all kinds of factors that go on, right? And then he kind of compared a little bit to like Ben Pickle, for example, is someone that on paper you would have thought not a big deal, but is really showing that we got some more worth out of that than what we might have expected because of what was on paper. Now he's showing up on the ice, right? Um, was he a good player? Yeah, I don't think there's any argument there. So, not the answer you're looking for, um, but and there was a whole lot more he shared that I can't even remember it all. But when he was talking to me, I'm like, well, that makes sense, and we don't really know. And he said, it's we love to see because I said, the fans of Sarnia really get attached to their players. I think more than any other team.
yeah, I can see that. Yeah, there's people that still talk about players that were here 10, 15 years ago that that maybe I don't even remember, but yeah,
Well,
there's
look
still.
at Benny Gaudreau. I'll give a shout out to our friend Benny. He's a great example of no matter what he did, even if he had a really bad time, people loved him, and he loved to talk to the people and share time with them, right? And to this day, they still talk about that Benny Gaudreau guy.
Yeah, the chants that erupted every time he made a big save were unmatched. It's nice to have to rally around someone like that, just because it's just a good community kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
You players that come in and out and you don't really get to know them, or maybe they do a season or a season and a half, and you don't really get to know them that well. It's nice to have someone around for that long and become so familiar, and to look forward to seeing them every season.
Yeah.
Until they overage.
So I know that's not the answer you were looking for, but it kind of does make sense. I mean, there's stuff going on that we don't know, and I don't know this for a fact, but I hear like, well, he had a relationship with somebody and wanted her to come over here, and maybe they're like, no, like I don't know, I can't confirm that. That's just one of the rumors that I've heard. He missed home, wanted to, so who knows, right?
Yeah.
And maybe where he's at is a better place for him career-wise.
Yeah, that's the thing, it's selfishly you want him on your team, but I'd love to see him flourish on another team, just get what he wants and, get the playing time that I think he deserves.
Yeah, it's a bittersweet thing here in the OHL, right, Connor? I mean, you could use the example of a player getting called up and they're like, wow, we were really hoping to hold on to them, but then that's kind of the ultimate goal is for them. And then you lose them, and maybe you lose 3 key players, and now you got to start working on somebody else to get them to replace those spots, right?
Yeah, this is just a stop along the way. Everyone makes a good impression, and you want to you get to treat it at any other professional level, but this is just a stop. You're here for a minute, but your ultimate goal and destination is the NHL. Hopefully,
I think that's what makes the OHL such a great and tough league to be in. Is that when you get to the NHL level, it's kind of like, which team am I going to be on?
Yeah.
And then you kind of stay there. Typically, you might get traded after, but typically you're there. Where do you go from there?
Mm-hmm.
The OHL says they're all competing. The entire Ontario Hockey League is competing against each other for that next step, and that's, I think, what makes that competitiveness and makes that this is a tough league to play.
No, it's almost impossible to project a draft pick's trajectory and then how long you're going to have them or where they might end up next. Like just like this, like maybe you miss home, or maybe like even seeing players like Sim like go back to their home. Like lots of players go home, lots of players get traded. You move on, you move up, you move outwards, and
Yeah.
yeah, it's a lot to handle for a GM. I couldn't imagine. That's
Right.
just you can't predict. Like you said, the NHL is a little bit easier because you get to see the same players for 20 years. Alex Ovechkin, Sidney Crosby. You know what you
Right.
get with those players, but you got hundreds and hundreds of young kids that maybe don't even make it at the next level, but they're the best of the best here, or maybe not very good here, and then get a lucky break, and then they're a star on their own rights. But yeah, it's so hard to project. It's
Yeah.
young
Yeah.
kids, and it's hard.
Yeah. Well, and like I said to Dylan Sika, I said, I'm sure I said, I like to think anyway that the general manager and the coaches and everybody are making decisions for the best. Like everybody wants their team to win. I don't think they wake up and go, yeah, okay, we're done with that one. Let's get they're what's best for the team. And sometimes, a lot of times, that's a long-term vision that we don't see.
Yeah, at the end, yeah, it's a business at the end of the day, but you also want to treat these kids the best that they. You want to build your it all goes hand in hand,
Yeah,
right? You
sure.
want to build your own reputation for how well you treat players as a whole, because you just kind of recycled in and out. People don't want to come here, and especially now with this NCAA agreement, like you have so many
Right.
choices of where they want to go. You don't have, if you get drafted, you don't have to go anywhere. You can say, I've heard rumors about that organization. They don't treat their players very well,
Right.
or they've cycled through pretty quickly, and that's their own choice to not go. So yeah, it's a circle. It's a big circle.
Right.
You gotta look after yourself and the players for the betterment of your own business, I guess.
Yeah, right. Fair enough. All right, we beat that. We beat the Russian up. I mean, it is what it is. One more final comment on that, Connor. I don't know if I think you'll agree. This happening creates opportunity for some of the other players, all of the other players on this Sarnia Sting Hockey Club, to step in to maybe where they couldn't step in before, step in and step up to keep the team going and growing.
Yeah, there's a hole now, right? It's got to prove if you want that third spot on the line, or if you want the second line, like it's open for grabs. So yeah, anyone can have it now, and we'll see what happens. Maybe even a new player comes in.
Yeah, right. Well, I'm
still waiting on the check import too.
Right. So. I'm going to ask you about that coming up. Maybe we'll save that for next period. Let's talk now about this team tonight coming into the Hive, the Windsor Spitfires. They really gave it to the Sarnia Sting on the home opener, 8-1 for that opening. Nobody wants to talk about that, so we'll just keep moving forward.
Yeah.
But that's got to be sitting on the mind of the Sarnia Sting as they come out to the ice tonight.
Definitely. It's bulletin board material. That's what you want in your locker room.
Right.
I mean, you don't want to think about it, but you want to remember it and not have it happen again, and show them retribution. But not only did they give it to us, they're giving it to the whole league right now.
Yeah,
they're 9-1-1. They're outstanding NHL players. A lot of them got sent back, unfortunately for us, and they're just kind of running amok with the league and having their way. So, yeah. You got to be realistic, but you got to be hopeful too. I'm hopeful for the same, but this is a dangerous team, and we got to watch
9-1-1. We don't want to be calling 9-1-1 tonight.
That's right.
And this Sarnia Sting 3-4-1 right now. Off to a rough start compared to last season, where we come out the gate shining, and then really had the struggles. It seemed like the struggles began at the beginning of the season this year, but they're overcoming. Both of these teams, though, struggled against like the Oshawa Generals, who I think are a team to keep an eye on in this season. But like you said, and then you've got Jack Nesbitt still coming out strong. Although that being said, I don't see him on the top scorers list for Windsor. You've got Carson Woodall in there and Ethan Belchez, which I know these are two Windsor players that you've kept an eye on.
No, they're outstanding. Yeah, Belchez he'll probably be a top 5 pick in the NHL this year, and like we know slouch of our own. We've got Beckham and Alessandra, who are probably going to go late first round, but he's a step above. I think he's just a huge body, 6'5",
right.
Throws his weight around and knows how to score and gets to the net. So yeah, that's one of those wrecking balls that you can mitigate the damage so much, but he's going to find a way eventually.
Yeah, he'll sneak his way in there, and you won't see it coming likely.
Or you will.
Or you will.
That's a big frame.
Go, woo.
Trains on the track.
See me, I'd be like, yeah, there, go ahead. There you go. Leave it to I'd hang the goalie out to dry every time. That's why I'm
Should
here
be.
talking about it instead. But Beckham Edwards, who's really showed up for this Sarnia Sting, no slouch out there. Jack Van Volsen, he's been what's he got? Five goals.
What a pleasant surprise.
Like right. So there's that guy that you looked at on paper and you're like, but then he showed up and has kept showing up for this team. And he just seems to be a really hungry player.
Yeah, he was kind of a throwaway in Mississauga. Didn't have the greatest stats, and I mean, like we've seen the story before with Caden Johnson coming over from the Knights, kind of a throwaway for them, and he came out hot. But Van Volsen's kept it going for the entirety of the beginning of the season. So we'd like to see him keep that up. And yeah, he worked his way right up that lineup, and he's staying where he is, and he's playing with the best. So I'd like to see more success out of him, and he's got a great shot.
Ryan Brown, somebody we've talked about every home game here. Both you and I have agreed that we'd like to see some more of this sniping from this kid. And I talked to his dad after the last game, and I said, "Hey, where's your boy?" And he's like, "Go talk to him. He's over there." Right? He's like, I think his dad's a little frustrated.
Oh yeah.
Too, right? Well, you want your kid to do the best and everything, but there's the realistic side. But yeah, you do. Maybe I'll ask Ryan Brown. We'll see after tonight's game if he's around. He's usually hanging around and say, "Hey, what are you doing? We want to see that snipe." But he is the top third scorer still for the Sarnia Sting, right? And I think, according to that, or top scorers, and they put him against. How do you say that?
Bexelton Makic.
Yeah, say that 5 times fast. But, yeah, look, there's a fan. But I feel like Ryan is one of those players that works better under pressure than in just casual playing. If that makes sense.
Yeah, no, for sure. Brian Brown, right? You said
yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Love to see him out there. You sound like a broken record at this point, but yeah, he's so unselfish where he wants to be a playmaker, but I think he'd have a flourish of goals if he put it on net a little bit more. It's easy to say when you're standing on the sides, but I think the eye test doesn't lie. You got a wrist shot that can break the back glass and get by any goalie. So I think, yeah, it's just a matter of finding that comfort zone and knowing when to shoot, I guess. But yeah, I think it'll come.
Easy for us to say.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah, I can't tie skates.
All I did was shoot anyway. I got in trouble for never passing.
There you go. Well, it's going to be an interesting night, regardless of what happens here. Hopefully, let's see just something better than home opener.
Yeah, that's
right?
a valiant effort.
I think that's a good start.
Is all you can ask for against a team like this.
Yeah.
Put up the wall and play a good defensive game and put as many shots on net as you can.
Obviously, you want to play as hard as you can, and obviously you're playing to win. But the fact that they got to play Windsor again tomorrow night down in Windsor's home, who has a really strong fan base support down in Windsor as well, a larger arena, so it's louder, can be really intimidating for a young fellow to go in there. Charlie LaRocque is scratched, James Barr, Diorio, Kostic, and Chase. This new Chase fella, I kind of like him. There's one to keep an eye on too.
Yeah. This is again going back to the conversation. If you got an embarrassment of riches, and then you see the scratches up there, you'd like to see Carter Kostic get into the lineup and started.
Love to see him back.
It was awesome to see him back, and yeah, I don't know if he's injured again. I don't think he is, but
I don't know.
That's a tough pull. You want to see these guys in the lineup, and you got to wonder how frustrated they are being on the sidelines almost every game. Chase Gaughan's been on there a lot, and Alessandro as well, but we know he's injured. I think we're missing him pretty good, probably.
I think so, and I think he'll be that guy, we often talk about when somebody's scratched because of an injury when they come back. Are they a little hesitant to put it all in because they don't want to get hurt again? But I think he's the kind of guy that will completely put that aside, and he'll turn the rockets on the skates, and we'll really see him show up powerfully when he's in.
Yeah, he's not very shy. He's confident in his abilities, I think. Yeah, probably maybe give him a game to get back into it, right? Get your sea legs under you, but I don't think he's going to be too worried about that.
Yeah.
Keep him out until you're 100% healthy. That's the other key. Coming back early from injury is never good.
All right, well, we're just a few moments away from the Canadian National Anthem to get things started underway. Avery Paquette is our 7th skater here tonight, and the Sarnia Sting will be out on the ice. And Connor will be back to join me with positive things to say.
Only positive.
And again, I'm sorry about the tears of your
That's
favorite
right.
player.
They were shed. They've been wiped.
But you know, we got to keep moving forward. We're just getting started here around the OHL, and the pendulum can swing any way quickly in this league, as I mentioned. And I think I'm really predicting a strong start from the Sarnia Sting here tonight. So we'll see you after the first period.
Fingers crossed. You'll see me. I'll be here.
They'll be back. All right. Thanks to all of you on Facebook, TikTok. Sorry we haven't talked to you yet, but we're going to end the Facebook Live. Facebook, if you want to stay live, join the chatter. Come on over to TikTok and say hello. I'll be live the whole game here. Well, up until the end of the second period anyway, and we'd love to have you there. So Facebook, thanks for watching. Shout out to Hughes Intelligence, of course, for always giving us support for many, many years. We're glad to be back down here on the concourse to talk to all the fans. And welcoming Joe's Discount Tire as another one of our sponsors here. Really appreciate them. They've been supporters for many years as well, but they're jumping in with us here at the Sarnia Sting. All right.
Great place.
Yeah. And H&I is like a sister company, and they're fixing my Firebird right now.
Oh, nice.
So grateful for them. So, all right. That's it for me and my dear friend